Hello everyone, this is Sudipta from Technical Potpourri and welcome to my new video. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about all the new flow features that came along with Winter 26 release. So without any further delay, let's check them together. The first feature that I'm going to talk today is called the AI-driven decision element criteria. As you can see in my screen, I have a screen flow, and inside the screen flow, I have an element which is basically fetching all the accounts from the org. Now, after this element, the moment you add the decision element, you will find that under the decision logic, there is two options. One is like manually set the condition or let AI determine the condition. So this is a new feature which came up in this latest release. So basically what this is telling is that instead of you manually set the condition and define all the outcomes, let AI do that. So all you need to do, you need to give some instruction, basically the prompts to the AI, and AI will do all the outcomes and define the condition for those individual outcomes. Now, as you can see, I am in the developer org. In developer org, this feature is not available. As per the documentation, this new feature is available only in Enterprise, Performance and Unlimited Edition with Einstein for Sales, Einstein for Service or Einstein Platform add-on. So if your org belongs to one of this category, then this section will be automatically enabled for you. And all you need to do, there will be a describe the decision. You need to give the decision instruction, and under all this outcome, you need to give the outcome instruction. So basically two instructions that you need to give. One is the decision instruction, and for all the outcomes, you need to give the outcome instruction, and then AI will do rest of the stuff. With that, let's move to the next feature. So the next feature which I'm going to talk today is like how easy it will be to find your resources faster with the update to the new resource menu. So as you can see in the screen, this is a record triggered flow, and this flow is on the account object, and every time account record is updated, this flow will be triggered. So here, let's say I want to fetch the associated contact from this account. So what I can do, I can put a get element here, get records element, and fetch contacts. Here will be the object, and here if you see here, what I am trying to match is basically the contact account ID matches with the triggering record account ID. So here under the value, you will find the option at the very top. It's coming the triggering account, and then you can find all the attributes from the account which you want to use for your matching purposes. So now the important thing to understand is that after Winter 26 release, Salesforce will understand the context under which you are trying to use an element. And based on the context, whatever is relevant, that option will come at the top. So in this scenario, the context is you are trying to match something from the triggering record and fetch the associated contact. So Salesforce will understand that, and based on that, Salesforce will bring that option at the top of the search. So you don't need to scroll through all the elements. Whatever is most relevant, that will automatically come at the very top. So this is a very helpful feature. So let's see another example. So if you this scenario, for this triggering record, I have two elements. One, this element is basically fetching the first contact, and this element is fetching the first case. So in between this, if I want to try an assignment element. So when this assignment element comes here, I am getting the contacts from the fetch contact. I have the option where I can refer the contacts which are fetched from this element. Now, there are two fetch in this flow, right? There's two get records element in this flow. Here, one is fetching contact, one is fetching the case. But here, I'm not able to refer the element which is fetching case, because here, the only get element which has executed so far is this one, not this one. So Salesforce will understand the context and only bring those elements which has either executed or relevant. So in this scenario, only this one is executed. So that's why this element you can refer and basically get the other fields from the contact object which you have already fetched. Similar way, if I put an assignment element here, so this time I can refer both the get records element, because when the execution here, it means both this get records element and this get records element both has been executed. So I can refer them. But whereas here, the only get records which is executed is this one. So I can only refer this one, the contact, not the case. This is also a very powerful addition to the flow. Okay, with that, let's see another example. So again, if you see this scenario, this time in this get records, I'm fetching all the contacts, and here in the fetch cases, I'm fetching all the cases, right? So let's say I want to add a loop element here. And in this loop again, the only collection variable that will be available to you will be this one. There will be no collection variable from this one because this node has not yet executed when the flow is executing this node. So you will find only the contacts from the fetch contacts here. So that's the only one that you can do. Now let's say give it a name, loop through contacts. And similar way, if I put an assignment here, and here under this variable section, the only option that you find is the current item from the loop through contacts. So here it will show you the loop element, the current loop element from this loop. Now similar way, if I put another loop here, and give them a name as loop through cases, here you have both the collection variables. Either you can refer this fetch contacts or the fetch cases, because when the execution is at this level, both this node has been executed. But for my cases, I want to refer the collection variable from this element. So I will refer the cases from the fetch cases. Now, if I put an assignment element here, it is telling the current item from the loop through cases. So this will refer only the current item from this loop. Under this section, it will never give you a current element from this loop. So when you are inside the loop, Salesforce will understand, and Salesforce will give only the option which is specific to that loop. Nothing will come from the other loop. So this is a very powerful addition, because I have seen a lot of situations where people refer the wrong element from other loop, and that causes some unexpected problem, sometimes error, sometimes failure, null pointer exception. So all type of problems I've seen for my customers. But with addition of this feature, that option is gone, because you will not be able to refer element from other loop. You can only refer elements from your present loop, the loop in which the execution is happening right now. So this is a really helpful feature. With that, the last feature which I'm going to show you is, for example, you want to search for something, right? If you type, let's say I'm typing case, you'll find an option called expand search. The moment you click on that, it will show you all the elements where this text case will be matched. It can be at the beginning, it can be at the middle, it can be at the end, that's okay. But as long as this text is matching, it will show you all those resources. And if you click on the information, it will tell you what is a label, what is the API name, what type of field it is, what is a variable type, and from where this field is coming. This path is very important. This will also tell you from where this field is coming. So as you can see, after this Winter 26 release, it will be much easy and much quicker for you to find your resources while you are building your flow. Okay, with that, the next feature that I'll be talking today is all about the ability to immediately use the newly created records in the flow. So let's see that in action. So as you can see, this is a record triggered flow on the opportunity, and this flow will trigger every time a new opportunity record is created where the amount is greater than 100K. What I want to do immediately, I want to create a case for this opportunity. So I will create record. I will create a case. And let's say I want to create the case, and here I want to put the case, let's say name as triggering opportunity dot name, status as new, priority as high, and owner ID equals to triggering record dot owner ID. So what this node will do, this node will create the case record. Now let's say I want to put an assignment element where I want to store the case number. Store case number. So let me create a variable here. Data type will be text. Done. Here, what you can do, this node actually created the case. And after this Winter 26, you can refer the created record immediately in the flow. So after this one, you don't need to go for any get record. The newly created record is already available and you can refer that here. So that's what I'm doing here. So this is the case. It's getting created from this case record and then number. So what this flow will do, the moment the case record is getting created, in the next node, I'm immediately referring the newly created case record and assigning the case number to a new variable. This is a new feature which is coming up in Winter 26 release. And basically with this feature, you don't need to do another get record element to fetch the newly created record and then only use those variables. Use the attributes of the newly created record. The newly created record is immediately available within the flow for you to use. So this is also a very useful feature. The next feature which I'll be talking today is all about how you can get the related records across all levels with the nested loop. So let's see that in action. So here I am in an auto launch flow. So what I'm doing first, I'm first fetching accounts and associated records. I'll start with account and let's say no condition, and let's say I will fetch only 5 accounts. But here the thing is that I will have an option to not only select account but also select the associated objects from the account. So I'll select this get related record and then click on this select related records, which will open up this option. Here under this account, I want to fetch the account ID and the account name. Now I want to click on this plus sign and here I'll select my next related record. For example, I want to select contact. Under contact, I want to select the first name and the last name. Also from account, I want to select the opportunities, where I am selecting the opportunity name and the opportunity amount. I want to select the case. Here in the case, I want to select the case number, case type, and from the cases, I want to select the case comments. And under case comments, I want to select created date and published. These are the two. So let's review now what I have done so far. I'm fetching account and associated contacts, opportunity cases, and from cases, I'm fetching the associated case comments. So in the account, if I go, I'm fetching only the 5 accounts. If I go to the contact, I am fetching all contacts for those 5 accounts. Similarly, all opportunities, all cases, and all case comments. So with the single note, I am fetching this entire nested record set. Now here is a change that is coming up. So if you do the loop now, so what this is doing, loop through accounts, because account is your at the top level. So here you will get the account from the associated records, under which you can put another loop where you can go through all the contacts. This is new. This was not there before. So here you can do current item and then contacts. So this list will basically list of contacts for that particular account. Similar way, we can put another loop at the account level, which is loop through cases. Here again the current item and you can select the cases. Now you can go one level deeper, because for cases we have selected the case comment. So you can put another loop here, and here you can put loop through case comments, and here it will be which one? This is loop through cases and then the case comments. So if you see this now, I first started with account. This node is all about for that selected account, all the contacts. This is for the selected account, all the cases, and this is for the selected cases, all the case comments. So now you can go through the nested loops and for your record, you can go through them and take your actions accordingly, whatever your business need is. This is really powerful, but I'm still curious to understand or check what will be the performance of the flow when there will be a lot of nested loops like this. Like here, I'm only gone 3 levels, right? What will happen if I go to 5, 6 levels? I don't know what is a limit. I haven't checked anything mentioned in the documentation where it's telling you can go at least 5 level or 6 level. I don't know that. But I am really interested or curious to understand what will be the performance of the flow when there will be a lot of nested loop happening. Okay, with that, it's time for the next feature. Next feature is basically a theme picker in the screen flow. Basically, what is happening in summer 25 release, Salesforce introduced a size picker in Flow Builder, which allows you to preview how your screen will appear across different screen sizes. But in winter 26, what is happening? Salesforce added the new theme picker. So now with this theme picker, it will allow you to preview how your screen will look with a specific theme applied. So if you see here, for example, if you see here under this preview screen, you have the option to select all these lighting themes. At the same time, if you have Experience Cloud, you can select the Experience Cloud and it will tell you how your flow will look like in the Experience Cloud. So if you see here, it changes, right? Similarly, if I go to the lighting blue, this is how it will look. If I go to seasonal flare, this is how it will look like. So it changes. At the same time, in the preview size, you have 3 options: large, medium, and small. If it is medium, this is how it will look like. If it is small, this is how it will look like. So basically now when you design the screen, you have the option to understand how your flow look like under different situations. Okay, it's time for the next feature. Okay, so the next feature which I'm going to talk today is all about if a field is being used inside a data table and you want to delete that field, Salesforce will not allow you to delete the field. So this is a very helpful feature. So basically when you try to delete a field and if the field is being used inside a data table, you'll get an error that you cannot delete the field, and it will also tell you inside which flow that a field is being used. So the next feature which I want to talk today is about the enhancement in the send email action. So previously, the send email action in Flow had 2 separate inputs for the recipients. One is a text collection and another is a comma separated text. But with Winter 26 release, these have been merged into a single input parameter. So now you can enter all the recipients in one place with the support of text collection, manual email addresses, and variables. This unified behavior applied to both CC and BCC. So for example, here you can type the current user, the running user email address. At the same time, you can type email address like this. And then you can type another email address, which is test1@test.com. So if you see now, it has, you can type the variable, you can refer the variable, you can put the email as a text, and this is applicable to CC, BCC, and any kind of email addresses section under the send email. So this is also a good enhancement that is coming up. So this is also a good enhancement that came up. We don't need to maintain 2 different sources for the email addresses. So this is also a very good enhancement because now after this Winter 26 release, we don't need to maintain multiple inputs for the email addresses. Okay, with that, the last feature which I want to talk today is how easy now is to debug your Salesforce flow. If you see, this flow is actually fetching the cases, fetching the contacts, showing them in the screen, and then doing an Apex action and then doing another screen. Now, if I have to debug this flow, the moment I click on the debug button, instead of opening the debugging screen in a new tab, what it will do, it will open the entire debugging screen in the same window. So it will be easy for me to understand what's happening inside each of these elements of this flow. So basically what I'm trying to tell you is that after Winter 26 release, it is much easy for you to do the debugging. And when I'm telling that, I want to show you that also. So let's see that in action. So the moment I click on debug, as you can see, the debug screen comes here in the same screen. And here I have all the options, the same thing which you had before. You want to run the latest version, you want to run this flow as another user and all this thing. You're okay with that, you want to start the flow. So the moment you click on run, as you can see, it came here. So on each step, you see here, this is the element that has already been executed. This is the element which is already being executed. And you can see here, So now I'm selecting this two and I'm doing some operation on the flow and clicking on next. The moment I do that, what will happen, it called an apex function, and this is the result. It's so easy. So as you can see here, I have these two get elements where I've fetched all the contacts, all the cases, all the contacts. This is my screen element where I have displayed the cases and the contacts. And for each of these data table, this is the input and this is output. Output is basically the row that I've selected from the data table. Now the selected output actually passed to an apex action. So this is apex action where you can see if I close this to now, and if I come here on the apex action, what I can see here is that I have, this is the input, all cases, this is my input, all contacts, and basically what is happening, this is the output, and this output is passed here. So if you see, this is output which came here. So all I'm trying to tell you is that it's much easy to do the debugging, because on the same screen, on one side, you'll find all the inputs, what is happening on each of the element on your flow, what is getting passed, what is getting returned, and everything. At the same time, you will see your screen, how your flow is behaving. So if there is any problem, you'll immediately know from which node the problem happened and what was the input to that node, why the node failed. Everything you'll get it here. And the final thing, to move to the editor where you will be making changes, you don't need to click on back or anything. You'll find an option called flow canvas. Click on that, you'll be back to the flow, and you can click on edit flow and start making changes based on your need. So this is a very powerful feature, and this is one of my favorite feature which came up in Winter 26 release. I'm quite sure you all will love this feature. Flow is becoming so powerful in our everyday lives. Flow is becoming so powerful that we almost write flow for every project, because flow can fail, and to understand where the flow failed and to understand it easily makes the life of the developer or the admins easy. So that is why this debugging screen is really helpful. It will help a lot of developers, a lot of admins to find out what is happening on the flow, where it failed, why it failed, and how to rectify that. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope this video will give you the information about all the new flow features that are coming in your org as part of Winter 26 release. If you like this video, please hit the like icon. Please share this video with your friends, with your colleagues, so that they know about new features. And finally, please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon, so that in future when I'll publish more videos on Salesforce topic, I want you be the first person to be notified. Till then, thank you. Bye bye.